So you get on that side over there, but you know, get in the middle. Smart, smell good. That's me. Oh, you pulled it out. That's the one you got? Oh, that. Okay, you got something else.
Right there.
Right. Go live on yours too?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so you probably want to kind of do it to the seat
This way?
here too. So kind of, yeah. So maybe put your thing on an angle or something. You know what? Grab one of those train pieces or something. Put your thing behind it. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna come over closer. Come over here. All right. What's going on, Facebook world? What's up? This might be one that you want to share with your friends, your partners, your family members, because what I'm doing right here is I'm basically showing and discussing exactly what I did to create my first $1 million in real estate, and talk a little bit about some things that I did to lose it. And then now, this time around, showing people how to do this with their family, right? To me, in my life, in my world, in my mind, after everything that I've been through, there's nothing that can replace family, right? There's nothing that will ever replace. There's nothing that will ever replace family. So I've been blessed. I've been blessed to have been taught this game by a billionaire. I've been blessed to have taught this game, been taught this game by a billionaire. And what we're doing now in a couple of different states, we are now so we're in Michigan, we're in Florida, we're opening up in Pennsylvania, we're going back to Connecticut, where else? Georgia, did I say Georgia? Georgia also. And what I did when I came here to Detroit is I wanted to put together a team. I wanted to put together a family, and I wanted to set up my own credit union. And I wanted to teach people how to think like a bank. I wanted to show people how simple it can be to get into this real estate game and to be able to take care of your family, right? Yeah. To be able to take care, so you can come on over there. To be able to take care of their family. And for one reason or another, whatever the case may be, it didn't quite turn out that way, the way that I envisioned it when I came out here. So what we have decided to do was to come together and to take on the different ventures. Guys, I have a fund already that I've been funneling money through for ever now, with my capital firm. And I've been looking for people that had what it takes, the commitment, people that could follow the way that I've learned to do it by one of the most successful men I've ever met in my life. So what I've done over the years is I've tried to share the way that we do things with others, because I've always wanted to be the type of person that will leave an example for other Black men, other Black families. That is my number one concern. The number one thing on my heart is to show other Morenos, right? To show other people who look and come from areas that I look like, or that we look like, and to be able to show them how to create legacy for their family. Now, with that being said, we do a lot of things that the average person here has never done, and maybe they don't even believe it, but that's okay. The people that matter most, they already know what we do and how we do it. So at this stage in my life, all I've ever wanted to do is put a team together. But at this stage in my life, I've decided that I'm going to just take this information that has been given to me and take what I've done over 20 years and continue to follow through on the implementation, because that's what this is all about. It's about how do you implement this? You can, go to a million seminars if you want to. You can have binders up, in front of your desk up to here. You can have people in your family that's done it. You can have partners that, you can, whatever the case may be, that's only one part of it. But to actually know how to do it for yourself, that's a different thing. Some people tell me, well, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. I read about it, I watched YouTube. It's not the same, right? So with that being said, what we have done over the last, I don't know, it's maybe 4 days now, but we have 20 contracts on properties that we have agreed to in terms to take over. So what we're doing today, in between different classes that we're teaching throughout the day, is we're going to be going through all 20 of the properties, putting everything on paper to the pen that was agreed upon for these deals. Tomorrow, you'll see us come in from a different part of Michigan, and you'll actually see us actually receiving the properties, some of them, many of them, that were given to us. And what I've done is I've already, from Florida, I've reached out to all of the players up here in Michigan. So you'll never see me on Facebook putting a post asking, is there any buyers out there? Because the buyers that we talk to, most of them don't even hang on Facebook. So I refuse to put myself and do the same thing as others by asking other wholesalers who don't know how to do what I do if there's any buyers out there. So that way, doing it that way, you can become frustrated. You can become frustrated. But we have a proven system, tried and true, that will allow us to continue to do and continue to expand this. My goal is to get this to have up to $1 million a month coming in. So with that being said, I want to just let you hear from a couple of key people. So this is family right here. So I want to let you hear from a couple of key people on their experience, because as I told Tavon and I've told Janelle, people don't believe this. I'm like, what we're doing, these guys have never seen this before. They've never seen it. I don't know too many people who know how to get 20 properties in 3 days or 4 days. I don't know that, right? So we have systems that we use. And for those of you who don't believe that systems work, you need to read a book called The E-Myth, right? By Michael Gerber. and it talks about systems, and you can never scale up to this level without having systems in place and good people in place. So that's why I look for good people that are coachable. I look for good people that are coachable to show them what we're doing. So now I'm going to let Tavon and I'm going to let Janelle speak a little bit about what we did to get the 20 contracts, the 20 properties, people begging us, wanting to do business with us. While a lot of other people are still trying to struggle and figure it out, I just want to be the example, right? I'm retiring from coaching unless someone is already in the business and making at least $100,000. Tavon is going to continue to coach, but we're going to go more over to the excess proceeds and to the apartment buildings, the multifamily properties. So some people will be able to get in with us. I mean, we're always going to keep the door open for family, right? But it's time to really make that quantum leap and go forward with the knowledge that was given to me from my billionaire mentor. So Tavon, you want to start it off? Let's just talk about the process of getting these 20. Now we've had some students come in, we've had some classes this morning, and we've showed people how this is done. We've shown them what we do under the hood, right? Mm-hmm. But those are people that will pay us for our expertise, right? So go ahead, Taylor. Let's just talk a little bit about what it means to you for us to get to the point where we now have agreed in terms for 20 properties out of that 11 that were given to us, and they're not all junkers.
So what it means to me about the 20 properties is that through the systems that we're using, it's very lucrative and it's helping us a lot. So we don't have to really do it manually anymore. We have systems that help us find the buyers and the sellers. And it doesn't matter which state it is. Janelle has hers in Tampa and up here. So I've been seeing her while they were in Tampa, they were getting deals up here in the Detroit, Michigan area. They were getting it down there. So, and that's just unbelievable. And it's like countless amounts of leads and it's coming real fast. So it's very worthy that we're using these systems and it's helping us out a lot.
And let me just bounce in on that because the key word is the leads, right? It's impossible to do what we're doing without tons and hundreds of leads coming in, right? Number one, everyone's not going to be distressed, right? And number two, we only go after distressed people. We don't go after motivated sellers, right? Distressed. And that's the key to being able to do this, right? You must go after distress. Now, when I tried to do this on my own without systems, I would lose stuff over here. Like I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a dreamer and I'm a person who implements things. Without a system, and the very first time I started really hearing about systems and how it can take your business to the next level is when I read the book, The E-Myth. Has anybody read the book, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber? And then he has The E-Myth Revisited. Well, I can tell you this unequivocally, that the reason for this success is the system. The system brings the leads in while we're doing other things. And we can come back and we can talk to the people because of the way the system is set up, systematized by zip code, systematized by city, systematized with campaign phone numbers, systematized with text message blasts. Like this is the things that we have going on in the back, right? Now, once again, I've been around for 20 years doing this. I have not had a job in 20 years. My question to you is, do you think that I can show you? Now, he's 26 now, right, Tavon? I've been doing it since he was 6 years old. He's been watching checks come into my house since he was 6 years old. He's been watching us do what other people couldn't do, closing deals in other states from where I was, right? So that's the main thing is the leads, the system that will kind of go through the leads for you, but then there's the implementation part. You still have to know what to say to close these deals. And it doesn't come from what you guys have been taught. It doesn't come from that. So with that being said, I just like to now, were you done? Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to now just turn it over to Janelle. She's actually flown up from Florida, live and direct, Detroit now, right? And I'd like for her to talk about it from her thing because what Janelle is, see, they're both going to be coaching people and I'll still be overseeing that. But I'll focus on the apartment buildings more, right? So Janelle can talk, Tavon can talk from his perspective, what he's seen. what he's seen. My son has never been a liar. I've never been a liar. And I know Janelle's not a liar. All right? So some people, because they've never done this before, they can't believe it. But that doesn't mean that it can't be done because you don't know how to do it. Right? It just means it's something you don't know. And like we always say, you got to know. Right? So with that being said, I'd like for Janelle to just talk a little bit about, because she's a part of this 72 hours.
And some of those are donated as well.
Yeah.
They're all not just regular cash offers.
So someone may say, you know, I'll leave that alone. I just want Janelle to speak from her perspective, what she saw in this, because she was actually coached by a pretty big guy down in Tampa, and she wasn't getting anywhere. And she came and tried it my way. And now she's quit her job. All right? So, Janelle, just you've seen this also, how we have come to terms on 20 properties in the 48 hours since I came back from Tampa. What do you think about that? What do you say to people who might not believe it because they don't know how to do it? And then we're going to talk a little bit about where we're moving forward at. And if you would like to do this with your family, it's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling to have a father and son, right? It's an amazing feeling to be able to do something like this. So, Janelle, open up from your side.
So I started in real estate about a year ago, and I had a mentor, which I'm not going to say he was not a great mentor. I'm going to say he wasn't the mentor for me that I needed to get my business to where I wanted it to be. So when I started with Cecil about, I'm going to say 4 or 5 months ago, business was picking up right off the bat. But we started a new system about 3-4 weeks ago, and our business has quadruple, yeah. And just over the last week, I have about 3 donated properties, and about 4 or 5 contracted properties to purchase. So the system that we are using it's amazing. It's amazing, and I'll continue using it. As far as the people that are skeptical, I mean, we're sitting here doing it. I mean, I quit my job about a month ago, and business is still coming in, and it's doing nothing but growing at this point. So we're in a great space.
So basically with these systems, anybody can do it. Anybody can pick up these multiple properties that like we did as a team, as a unit. And it speeds up the learning curve for you. So you don't have to really do it manually and search for motivating distressed sellers manually just through the phone, and search for sellers and tenant buyers. It all works for you through the system. So as you're sleeping, you're getting through leads. So I believe we checked the system today, and I saw one day it got like the system pulled like 46 leads in one day. So
yeah.
So the system is great, but I've had systems before when I first started out. I didn't know how to close it. Right? So what we have now decided to do, because anybody can do this. Number one, let me just say that. Anybody can do this, right? But you have to know where the right leads are from. There's a lot of places out here that are selling leads, and a lot of them are trash. A lot of them are trash. I'll tell you that right now. Over the last 20 years, I've seen them come and I've seen them go. We now have access to me, is some of the most amazing leads in the real estate industry. It's not list source, right? It's not US lead list. It's not the stuff that everybody else gets access to. Understand that there are different levels, right? So what we've decided to do is, because we've had so much success with this and there's so much overflow, is that we've decided to set up a lead list company, a lead list division, where we're now going to sell leads, and it will probably already go to only the top-notch guys that are out there because they're willing to invest in themselves, right? So a lot of the people who are struggling in real estate, The number one reason is two reasons. Number one, you won't invest in yourself. To invest back into your leads, you want to try to do everything on your own. That's just not going to cut it. Number two, you don't know what you don't know. You guys are thinking that, and everybody's doing the same thing. That's why so many people are struggling, right? Just say this. Before Tavon came out here, back home, struggling. I've met a lot of people who were struggling, and I showed them how to do this game the right way. Now understand this, there's different levels too, right? So if you're somebody who's came to me and you've paid $1,500, I'm not gonna tell you the same thing that somebody that's come to me and paid $25,000. It's different levels, right? And my thing is I look at people and say, well, if you're not gonna do this on the bottom level, why should I tell you the way you do anything is the way you do everything? So with that being said, I kind of missed out on some of what Janelle was talking about, but I can tell you this, she's flying from Florida to Detroit for a reason. And as we go forward, we're going back into the seminar scene. So we'll make millions over there again, right? From the seminars. I wanted to bring people along that I was coaching, help them have success so that they could come along with us also. I've wanted to do this for my family. My family, show my family how to win. So even on Facebook, I'm cutting back, right? I'm cutting back the fact, if you don't have a relationship with me, we're not doing business. You're not on the same spiritual or mental level that I'm on. Like, I'm going to cut back those people, and I only want to have a nice little tight niche of friends and close family. For those outside of that, you'll be able to catch us on different platforms. Tavon Jones Marketing.xyz, the jgilmergroup.com, right? So I'm actually, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I guess like Tavon says, like Phil Jackson, because I have some superstars around me who are willing to do what it takes. And I'm going to say this right now. I am declaring this a State of the Union address for real estate investment. We're going to show people how to do this right. No fluff, no magic beans, and no smoke screens. Guys, there's plenty of people that are walking around that have what it takes to make $100,000, $250,000, $500,000. When you think about it, I actually had a consulting this morning, and we broke down the goals for the young lady who said she wants to make $1 million, but she didn't have the process in order to do it. But when you think about it, if you are collecting, if you know how to collect like 5 different ways off of one property, it's like, I think she had to end up doing 40 deals and she would secure her $1 million. 40 deals. So in my mind, I don't think in terms of dollars, I think in terms of deals. So I'm teaching the people the real way to think like a bank, to set up owner financing all around the board, to do something that I've never taught before called equity stacking, equity framing. This is something that I've never heard anybody talk about except when I was around my mentor, Mr. Schwab, when I was around the billionaire that showed me this. And the few people that I have spoken to about it, they're already doing it, making a killing also. So we want to be the people that you can look at and know, and look at and love, and look at and trust, and and we want to bring other people along with us that deserve it, that deserve our time. We can show you how to do this. This is not hard. So where we're at now is we are actually going to do the due diligence for the contracts. We printed out, how many printed?
So what's that, 20 right there?
20? Okay. So we're probably going to need about 10 more. There's a certain way that I go about getting people's attention who are distressed. And not many people know this either. It's nothing that you learn in these little Facebook groups. It's nothing that you learn off of YouTube. And for some reason, a lot of guys today think that YouTube is the end all, be all, do all. Right? Somebody's just telling you a little portion about what they know on YouTube. Right? So we're going to do this the intention is to attract, is to wake up our families. Number one, I believe that there's no one in my family that should be struggling. I think you believe that. That's your desire also, right?
Absolutely.
Janelle, that's your desire also, right? So we want to show our family, look, man, you don't have to keep struggling. Then we want to show our friends, dude, this is how you do it. Because you got to know this information or you're going to get hurt financially. So we're going to invite you to watch us. Janelle has a group. What's your group there, Janelle?
Jay
On
Gilmer
Facebook?
Group?
Yeah.
It's Jay Gilmer Group.
So I have changed up my teaching format where we're not doing free teaching anymore. We need people around us, or we desire to attract people around us that have the same type of energy that we have. People that vibrate on the same level that we vibrate on, or at least even above us is cool. Make us step up our game too. Like we're going to make people who aren't on our energy plane step up, right? So the education piece is the most important. So we want to hook our families up. We want to show our families how to do this. We're using the Facebook platform to have one of the most serious lives that I've ever had in my life. Because I see some of my cousins on the feed over there, right? Like, guys, come on. I've discovered something. And if you're in my family, you already know that I haven't had a job in like 18 years. Like, what do you think is behind that? One of the things that happened when I talked to my mentor is the reason that he opened up the gates to me. He said, because I asked. Nobody ever asked him before. So what are you excited about now, Janelle, going from this point forward? What excites you about being in this business and having the opportunity? Because this is truly a blessing from God.
What excites me is the opportunity I have to make sure my son is financially set. He's 7 now, so my plan is to get his self-directed IRA and get some real estate in it. And I'm going to get it with this new system we're using. I did print out my lead sheets. These are it. 2 of the contracts have already been signed. The deeds are already signed. I just need to go pick them up tomorrow and get the keys to my donated property. The other 3 leads for tomorrow are purchases, and those will be for just the back taxes. Just the back taxes. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to making sure my son is straight.
Key words that she's saying: making sure his son is straight, family is straight, right? It doesn't happen by working for a job for somebody else. That may be where you are right now, but at least you have to know that it's up to you, and only you can make the decision to say, you know what, I'm going to work on my dream while I'm working on someone's job. If the cobra of fear has bitten you, and I'm not saying you just got to walk off a job and try to do this. That's foolish. I did that. But I'm a player, and I'm a gambler.
I did that because I'm a player.
Right? Sometimes, I mean, you're in a better position when you have no comfort nets, right? No safety nets up under you. And people like that jump out and they do it because they got to make it happen because it's the rules of the jungle.
Yes.
The rules of the jungle says if you don't hunt, you don't eat.
Right.
If you don't hunt, you don't kill. And if you don't kill, you don't eat. You see, many of you don't have that luxury because you're staying in your comfort zone. And that's okay. But we just want you to know that your comfort zone is your failure zone. Right? Your comfort zone is your failure zone. So we declare this day on this real estate State of the Union video. I be making stuff up, y'all. State of the Union video that we're going to show and prove everything that we said. When we tell you we've picked up 20 properties, best believe it's 20 properties. And if you don't believe it, well, then you just don't believe it. It's because you don't know how to do it. Don't think that somebody else can't do something because you can't see it, right? And we live in this little circle, right? A certain little circumference circle, and everything you know is in that circle. And sometimes we forget that there's a whole lot of things going on outside of that circle, and you don't know, right? So some of us have been blessed, myself, to have been taught by a billionaire. A billionaire that looked me in my eyes before he died and tell me that you have what it takes to be a billionaire, and I'm going to help you get there with this information. Don't waste time on people who can't see your vision. That's what he told me. Don't waste time. Don't waste time on people who want something for nothing. Because he said, see, so when you go around life trying to always get something for nothing, eventually you become nothing. So I've taken the words of Mr. Schwab to my heart, and I've been trying for a couple of years now to find a team to put around me to share this knowledge with. And we've decided that we're just going to rock with our foundation. And this is it. This is the foundation right here.
The big three.
And if other people choose to come along, they're going to have to step up and prove that they deserve it. But we will definitely lay the blueprint down. And it's a blueprint that goes against the conspiracy that's going on right between your ears. The conspiracy that says, oh, that ain't true. The conspiracy that lets you believe that we can't do this. Like we're not smart enough to do this. When we have people that two or more come together and agree, and it's a tie, a bond that is just strengthened and strengthened because we continue to do the things that other people won't do. So we want to be that family that you can look up to. The Joneses. The Joneses. So we're going to have it set up like this. Tavon's going to lead the millennials. Janelle's going to lead the women, because here's the thing. We've all been through things in life, right? And what happens typically with us human beings, being the imperfect creatures that we are, we look at what somebody's gone through in their life and we want to judge them, right? You want to judge them. But let me tell you what happens when you judge somebody. When you judge somebody, you are taking a snapshot of that person. You're taking a snapshot of that person's life. And you're holding on to that forever while that person is still evolving, while that person is still growing, while that person is still stretching. And you formulate this opinion in your mind that your cousin or your brother or your sister is the same person that you knew when you took that snapshot 20 years ago. And we've evolved. So once again, we want to help our family first. We want to help our friends and close people that we care for second. And then I'm going to continue going around the country and the world doing seminars, blessing people's lives. From the program this morning, what were some of the things the young lady that came in said? As we were, after just giving her this information about 30 minutes, she was all in, right? She was saying that she went to all these different seminars and presentations, but what did she say about this today, about what I taught her?
She said the training that we went through this morning, it was so different that she learned a whole different aspect of becoming a bank and learning how to get interest on your money. So that's the big thing that she learned today. So people are not teaching; they're just teaching the bottom of the barrel stuff with the wholesaling, and you just got to keep on wholesaling, because if you stop wholesaling, that means you stop getting money. But if you're doing the owner financing and that, you're creating passive income. And the classes and the courses that she was taking didn't teach passive income.
So speaking on that, what we have to learn to do as a people is we have to learn to think like a bank. We have to learn how to think like a bank. What do I mean when I say that? What does that mean? It means you have to understand the laws. you have to understand. You have to understand the type of money manager that you are right now. There's only two types of money managers in the world: good ones and bad ones. I've been a bad one for a long time. It took a billionaire to come into my life and show me what to do. And the things that this billionaire has shown me, I have instilled in Tavon, and I have instilled in Janelle. And it's in the early stages for them. They're still going to make mistakes, and I still make mistakes. Here's the thing, guys. People forget that every day we're learning, but we're committed to success. There's a blueprint for success. But many of us are just drifting around this earth like a doggone butterfly, right? Like one of the three bandits in life. What we would love for you to do is, if you're not there yet, we'd love for you to go to two sites: TavonJonesMarketing.xyz, the Jay Gilmer Group, right here on Facebook. Just put in Jay Gilmer Group. We will no longer offer the free trainings anymore. I've been trying to help people forever. I have helped people. Once again, in the last 72 hours or 4 days now, 80, what is that? 72 and 24, 96? Yeah, 96 hours, 20 properties. 20 properties, and we're going to show it live tomorrow. We're going to show us consummating the deal. We're going to show us inspecting the properties. And then yours truly here. Actually, are you going to get an opportunity to interview the lady who's donating some of the properties?
I should be able to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what was that like? Like, what did you have to, like, was it hard to get somebody to give you properties?
No, it was really quite easy. I just asked, and they said yes.
She just asked. Wow, where did I hear that before? Coming up the way I came up, I heard it in the Bible. Ask,
you shall receive,
and you shall receive. Right? So there's a way to ask, though, right? There's a way to do this stuff. And what I teach, 99% of people don't know. At least 99% of people that come from where I come from. Right? Then you have the top 1%. But we're going to close out now. We're going to, because we got work to do. I'm so proud of my son. Let me just say that. He knows it. I tell him every day. But I'm proud of the man who he's turned out to be. Because honestly, and he can tell you for himself, if he didn't make the decision to leave his comfortable circumstance and come up under me where it's not comfortable, but he's going to learn how to change his life around physically, spiritually, and mentally, and financially. You see, some of us, we're happy with one of the four. Well, I might not, my mama used to say this one, I might not have money, but at least I got Jesus. And I'm here to say you can have it all. That's all I'm here to say. You can have it all. But there's a formula. There's a formula to how to do it. And most people just don't know. And you gotta know. You gotta know how to do this stuff. Right? Damien says, can you put the link to the Gilmer group? Damien, just go, it's a Facebook group. Just go right into the search bar and put Jay Gilmer Group. That's all. It's Jay Gilmer Group. So we're setting up on YouTube. I can't stress enough how much this message goes out to Black men who are lost. I can't stress enough how much of this message is for Black women. I can't stress enough how much I've lost in my life. I've lost millions of dollars. And it doesn't even matter because I always know how to get it back now because this billionaire invested in me. And now what I want to do is I want to be a part of we want to be a part of the transference of wealth that you guys read about in your Bible. It's Gilmer, M-E-R. Right? Jay Gilmer Group. So Janelle is an extension of Mr. Alan J. Schwab, the information that he gave to me, the billionaire who taught me. Janelle is an extension of that. Tavon is an extension of Mr. Alan J. Schwab, the billionaire. So our outcome is, and I thank God for the man, because I was able to spend the last year and a half of his life with him before he died. Not many people get the opportunity to be blessed like the way that I was. So when I talk, it's different than all these other guys out here, because this man has told me some stuff I've never heard in my life, changed my world around. And guys, we're serious about this. We're serious about this calling because we know that this is a calling. This is a gift from God. We know that, and we're not going to play with it. We want to lead and inspire other people and show you how to get the same thing that this man showed me, right? So once again, we're not trying to show the masses, but you can watch us. And I'm going to tell you, the next 12 months with us are going to be some of the most heartfelt times, some of the most inspirational times. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to laugh and cry from the outside, watching what's going on, watching how God has used a man, a woman, and a man to send out this gift and this message to the world. And what I've seen in my experience is that our people are always the last ones to get on board. We fall for the okie doke every single time. We fall for the fluff. We fall for the magic beans and the smoke screens. Well, I can tell you that there's no magic beans and smoke screens here, because at the end of the day, we're teaching you how to think like a bank. We're going to go deeper on a personal development level and help you raise your self-esteem. Show you why you're not a servant, but show you why you're royalty. Because a servant doesn't sit down at the dinner table with royalty. So we got to make up our mind, choose ye this day who it is that you want to be. What I tell you, Ted? You got to what? Decide who you're going to be in this world. Who are you going to be in this world? Thank you, Bruce. I see you over there, my man. I think Bruce is a real estate agent down in Maryland area, DC somewhere, right? So from my family to yours, we're going to make a difference in this world. All this information that this billionaire gave me, number one, is showing up right here, because we got to take care of ourselves first. Am I right, Bruce? We got to take care of ourselves first. Am I right, Damien? See, so what I do is I set up what Mr. Schwab told me, the Jones Family Trust. Virginia, I see you. You're in Virginia. We set up the Jones Family Trust. How many of us have ever been told that we need to set up a trust for our family? You may have heard about a will, but do you know about the trust? How many of us know that we need to stop paying interest and start receiving it? You see, there's something called the spiritual game of life. And that's all this is, guys. Really, it's a spiritual game based off of universal laws. And most people don't believe it, so it operates against them. But you can change that around, just like I did, just like Janelle did. I want to turn it over to you, Janelle, real quick, because you got a message for women. Janelle will be leading women. She's got some gifts inside of us, just like all of us do. And it's time that we learn how to tap into our gifts. Stop talking and playing church and start living this stuff out in your life so that people can look at you and say, I want some of that. I want some of that. Who is it? What are you doing? What God is it? And you show them by your life. What you got for these ladies to know? What should we know? Because a lot of women are out here afraid to talk. They're afraid. They've been through some things. They've been through physical abuse. They've been molested. They've been taken advantage of in the religious platform. Let's just keep it real. We're going to keep it 100. Janelle has an amazing story. I'm helping her with a book, helping her with a movie on her life, the Janelle Gilmer story. So if you could just share a little bit or just be a blessing to these women a little bit, because most people are afraid, Janelle. These women are afraid. They've been tied down because somebody else has been the breadwinner in their home. They stay in relationships that they don't need to be in because they don't know how to earn an income. And we're gonna change all that.
Wow. I mean, it's so much I can say, but you can read about it in the book. But what I will say is, I came from a place where everything was dictated to me. I was told what to think, what to wear, how to live, what to eat. I couldn't be around, certain family members. It was just a very, very controlled, abusive environment. And I got to the point where I was able to get off on my own, but I was still afraid. I didn't know who I was, because I had been made into this person that I had no idea who it was. So when I break free from that, I got a chance to learn who I was, and I was very shy. I did not want to talk to people. And I just got to a point where when I had my son, I needed to make some definite decisions. I needed to figure out who I was, what I believed, what I wanted to do. I just needed to figure it out so I could be a good example to my son. And now I'm at the point where, I have it together. I can say that God has blessed me with knowledge. I'm very confident in myself. I'll speak when I need to speak, say what I need to say, and do what I need to do. I don't have any fear. And if I do feel fear, I still do what I need to do. It's not gonna dictate what my next moves are. So I would just say, make a decision. The first step is to make a decision and then act on it. Don't let it continue to be an internal decision. You have to actually do something after you make the internal decision. So that's all I'll share.
Some good stuff right there. And then we're going to swing it over to Tavon, because Tavon is an introvert. I'm not sure if there were fears or anything, but he's come a long, long way. He's the perfect example and the testament of a young man who has went from the traditional 9-to-5 thinking, the 9-to-5 framework that just leaves you in the corporate rat race, to being his own man, owning his own company, owning his own properties, right? Learning from his dad. And when Janelle speaks, she's going to move some people. When I speak, I'm going to move a different group of people. When Tavon speaks, he's going to move a different group of people, the millennials. So when you talk about fear, people, you talk to people that are afraid, Tavon. They have everything that it takes and they're still afraid. So let's talk about that, because the whole thing is the cobra of fear. The reason why people are not living out their calling, the reason why people are not living out their best life, the reason why people don't even know what their God-given assignment is because of fear. And there's a conspiracy going on. And it's right between their ears. And the negative tapes tell them that they can't do this. The negative tapes tell them that they can't do that. The negative tapes allows them to believe the little things that's going on in their mind, so that subconsciously they hang around other people that believe the same things that they believe, and nobody believes anything. And it starts to call a self-fulfilling prophecy of doom and gloom that leads to a downward spiral. So Tate, you chime in on that, where you've come from, the growth that you've seen or other people have seen inside of you, right? How do we change that?
We changed that by tapping into ourselves and doing what we have to do, because I was an introvert at first too, so I didn't like talking to people, like communicating with people, very shy inside my shell. So this whole experience has been like a push for me. So I'm just pushing every day so I can become a better person, become a better businessman, and doing the things that I have to do that. So that's what I have to say for the millennials. So just push forward and don't be afraid to do what you want to do. It doesn't have to be real estate. It can be anything you want to do in business. It can be that. It can be whatever you want to do. A lawn care business. You want to do a clothing line, anything like that. Any business that you're excited about and that interests you, that's what you have to do to be able to be successful. So just do the stuff that you have to take, get the education, learn it, study your craft, make sure you become the best at what you want to do.
True. And just to chime in on that, I think a lot of people don't move out on their sorry about that, guys. I was saying, I feel like a lot of people don't move out on their gifts or things that they desire to do because Number one, they're fearful, but they also wait on God. They feel like God is going to do something, like God is going to bless them into it. But really, he's waiting on you to make that first move. And then he's going to make then the second move. Like Cecil was saying a few minutes ago, what was he saying? I missed my train of thought. But anyway, you have to make a decision and move forward, and then God is going to come and then give you the next step, or he'll put people in your path that will assist you in the next step. But you have to make the first step first. It's a faith move. It's a faith move. You got to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Mhm. So just basically going back to the systems, we used to do this by phone. We used to buy lists and watch them and do them manually. So now we have the system that does it all for us. So it makes the process way much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting way more results than we would do it manually. So I advise all you guys that you want to do the real estate business and the wholesale, you can just invest into the system so you can be able to set yourself up and be more organized, so you don't have to do everything yourself. So the systems help you. We have systems that with the leads that we're doing. So we're doing from vacant, divorce, pre-foreclosures, properties that went to auction, and all types of stuff. So those are some of the categories that we specialize in as well. If you guys want lists, so we'll be setting that up for you guys real soon. If you're interested, we're getting starter packages out. So starting probably about 200 to 500 leads would be the starter package. So you guys can do that, experience it, and myself, Janelle, my father will coach you guys through it. So if you need any questions or anything like that, any regards, we can help you out through the way and help you get your first deal.
Mm-hmm. Anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
Hi, Terrence, Milton, Charlie, Mark, Prince, Shavalis, Terrence, hi.
All right, so here's the deal, guys. That's it right there, Naj. Thank you for that. So here's the deal. Let's just be real. Number one, a lot of times we have people that just sit in on our videos. And even if this is not for you, do you think it could bless somebody else? We're talking about generational wealth. Mm-hmm. We're talking about financial freedom. We're talking about how to get the courage and confidence to understand the universal laws, to understand that God and you can do anything. Mm-hmm. Is that worth a share? Even if it's not for you, is that worth a share? Would you share this video with somebody so that somebody can get this blessing? We're stopping at the end of this year. We're going on with the apartment buildings. I'll pick up more apartment buildings. We'll continue traveling around the country, going outside the country to do this as well. But is this worth a share? Now, here's my thing. Number one, we want to help our family. We want to teach this to our families and to our friends. How to get into real estate, how to own single-family homes, how to own multifamily homes, how to own, so we'll send an email. How to own apartment buildings. Many of you don't even believe that you can do that. You think you got to have big money. You think you got to have big credit. It's not the case. It's not the case. So once again, this is what I call the real estate State of the Union address. That's what we ain't got time for smiley though. It's the real estate State of the Union address. So we're going to help lead our people that look like us, people that come from where we come from. I come from projects. I was out selling drugs when I was 17, 18 years old. And now I've learned to replace the product. I don't have to look over my back anymore. Many of you here listening saying, I can't do this. I've already been to prison. I've been selling drugs too. All I can do now is work at Home Depot or Walmart. I'm here to tell you that's a lie. That's a lie. You can do this business too. All right? So the way to go forward with us gotta say this. I gotta say this. If you want to do this with us, it's gonna cost you some money. I'm not the cheap guys. We're not the cheap guys. It's an investment in yourself. It is. But we the best. We have to believe that. That's how we think. We're the best. So, Jay Gilmer Group, I see it right there on the thing. I think Tavon will put it up on his. But my black men, there eventually comes a time where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm going to tell you this because I've been on radio before, had my own radio show, right? I used to go out and speak to homeless children back in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I used to bring them on the radio with me. I used to speak to men who have been called abusers or outcasts. And when I spoke to these grown men, some of them were in tears because the frustration comes from not being able to take care of their family. Having their woman look at them like, man, I ain't nothing. And you guys can try to fake it all you want, but I'm a man too and I know the real. The frustration comes from not being able to hold your head up as a man and take care of your responsibilities. And you act out in other ways. Maybe you're running around with a bunch of women or just not doing what you say, don't keep your word, or maybe you just don't believe in yourself anymore. If any of those are the case, I can help you turn that around like that. Janelle can help you turn it around like that. Tavon can help you turn it around like that. We love our people so much that we're coming back out on the seminar scene. Well, this is going to be their first time. I'm coming back out again because I love my people so much. And God has blessed me. And I'm one of the real ones in this game. And we want to show you that you can do this too. So if you need help, you see, because what I heard is that it's the squeaky wheel that, what's it? It's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil or something like that, right?
I never heard of that saying.
All right. Live a little bit longer, you start hearing more. Right? So that means that if you don't raise up your hand and ask for help, no one can help you. If you don't decide that I want a better life, no one can help you. And this is where, if I can relate it to anything, I'll relate it to just like something that I grew up on. I'm so in tune with the universe. I'm so in tune with God. My vibrations have rised up to a different level. I know who I am. I know about the God power in me. I know that anytime I decide or you decide that you can be more, you can do more, and you can have more. I know this for a fact. You might not know it yet. So I'm going to say this, and we're going to wind this up. We've been taught that we've been separated from the will of God. Y'all ready? We've been taught that we were separated from the will of God. I'm here to tell you, you've never been separated from the will of God. I'm here to tell you that there's only one thing in this world that can separate you from the will of God. It's called the ego. It's your ego. Ego says that I'm not good enough. Ego says I have to be jealous of someone else. Ego says I'm not connected with the rest of the universe. Ego says all of these crazy things. And when you understand that you are one with the universe, when you understand that the reason that you were taught to love one another is because that you are your brother's keeper. You are your sister's keeper. And when we fully understand this, we fully understand once that ego is dropped, your assignment starts to be revealed more and more and more to you. What it is that God has already put in for you. See, so many of us are running around looking for a blessing, looking for something to save you, but you should be looking within. This is what I had to do. It only came when I searched within. So for all those years, I was running around just like I'm one of them damn children of Israel, running around a mountain a trip that was supposed to take 8 days or 10 days or 11 days, and it takes 40 years. That's 40 years of denying yourself. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. We're going to lead people. We're gonna lead families. We're gonna help others. It's not just real estate. It's personal development. It's understanding. It's knowledge of self. So it's a whole lot that comes. And if you're praying, you find yourself praying to God for this big miracle, it's not going to happen until you become that big person. So you have to learn to go from a level 1 person to a level 7, 8, or 9 person. Because the problems are always going to be there and they're always going to remain the same. And when you really understand the laws, you understand that every single problem is only a level 4 problem, a level 5 problem, right? But because you're only a level 1 or level 2 person, the problem seems so big. It seems so big. But it's really not. It's really not. It's really not. So we're going to teach this going forward. 20 contracts. There's something that you don't know. And we want to show you because we know that you got to know. You got to know. It's one of the realest videos I've ever put out. And they're all real, but this is one of the realest. So go back and listen to it. And if you feel and see that I'm talking to your spirit, not your mind. I'm talking to your spirit right now. Because your mind don't know how to handle this. And if you feel what I'm putting out there to you, I just say, share this video. Share this video. At the end of this year, it all goes away. We're not teaching people how to do this anymore. But you can always watch us. We'll put the vehicles out there. So make sure you go over to the Jay Gilmore group right here on Facebook. Right here on Facebook. And tomorrow, we're going to show you how we start to close the deals on these 20 properties that we're going out for. Right? You can do this too. It's from my family to your family. Right? I'm talking to my black men. It's time to stand up. I don't care what's happened to you. We got a network. We got a black man network that will encourage you and teach you these things that you don't know. So if you are interested in that, reach out to me. Reach out to me. We're going to keep bringing it back. We're going to keep bringing it back. We're going to keep bringing it back. So my job here is to do what God put me on this earth to do. I have a special, unique blessing, just like each and every one of you do. But most of us never take the time to get close enough to understand what our assignment is. All I do is use real estate to be able to put me on a platform to talk about what I really want to talk about. And that is understanding how we become one with God, understanding that you are not separated from the will of God, understanding that there's greatness inside of you. And whenever you decide, you can step up and do this, right? At the end of the day, this is about family. At the end of the day, this is about eternal agape love. At the end of the day, we want to show you how to create what it is that you need to create so that you can go have the time freedom to find out what God has given you so that you can go out and be a blessing to others because we're blessed to be a blessing. That's my time for now, guys. That's our time for now. We got another event going on tonight. We're going to continue to spread this word. This is the real estate State of the Union address for 2019. And we're going to help a whole lot of people change a whole lot of things around in 2020. So you don't have to wait until New Year's Eve to do your, what's that thing called?
New Year's resolution.
Your resolution. Let's start to change your life now. Because anytime you decide you can be more, do more, and have more, it's the God in you. It's the God in you. And you all have a ministry inside of you also. Let's start getting together. Let's start breaking bread. Let's start acquiring things. Let's start doing the biblical things that we read about. Let's start acquiring the land. Let's start being royalty. Let's start being heirs and joint heirs. But guys, you got to have some money. Royalty, King David, King Solomon, they're not walking around here broke talking about how good God is. Wow. I'm about to go into something else right now, but I'm going to hold off on that. Sometimes I feel like there's a preacher inside of me, right? But everybody has a ministry, seriously, real talk. Family to your family, all right? This is the way we're doing it. We want to be a blessing and we want to inspire and encourage others. We want to break bread. We want to bless you. We want to meet you. We want to have testimonials from you saying that the words that came out of your mouth have helped me to realize my greatness inside of me, have helped me to stop living my life vicariously through somebody else. It's helped me. It's helped me. It's helped me. Thank God for you. When I look at you guys up there, we see God. That's love. That's agape love. And we're going to go out on that note right there. Follow us at the J. Gilmer Group, right there on Facebook. Just type it in. We got a whole lot of gifts. We're walking in our greatness, the full armor of God. And we have a funny way of presenting it that makes people want it. To my family, to yours. Nothing but the best of success. God bless.